That is black ice. That's not water. That's black ice, not water. And the snow here look like glass. You think you can walk on it? It is glass. Why? Because of the metal and the asphalt and the concrete will make that snow freeze for a long time. It does not gain any heat, it loses heat. Loses heat because of the metal. I'm walking with difficulty. Everything here, this is black ice and it's very sharp. Very difficult to walk on. From a distance you think it's very slushy. It is not slushy at all. Look at that. Put your feet. It melts. It melts a little bit. But on the ground, whatever is close to the asphalt, it's solid ice. This is ice. This is not a piece of metal. And I came all the way here to put the seal. It is sealed now. Imagine trying to back your trailer in any of these slots. The trailer will be bouncing in all directions. You can hit anybody on the side, right or left, because of the snow. This is not any snow. This is very slippery snow. There's no traction here. Here where you can get in real trouble because it's a very narrow path and you have snow in the middle, on the sides, and whatever is on the ground is not water. It is not even wet. This is black ice. Remember that it's black ice because of the metal, the concrete, and the asphalt. Whenever you have such combination of solid material, any water that falls here in the dark or in winter will turn into black ice because of the thermal conductivity. This guy learned his lesson. He's coming out very smooth, very smooth. Any motion, any abrupt motion here, any abrupt motion can be devastating. And you cannot go out and walk here. You cannot even walk on your feet because, well, it is against the regulation. Number one, this is heavy industry. Everything here can be devastating. Not only you can fall, anything can hit you in your face, in your eyes. Metal flying from trucks, a piece of metal on the ground. The truck runs on it, it will become like a projectile. One of the reasons that the rail ramp can be deadly in winter is that the land is made from asphalt. there is enormous amount of asphalt and concrete on the ground. And the containers are metal. And everything here is almost black or dark. So when things get cold, as you can see in front of me, that snow on the ground is almost solid concrete snow, very solid snow. When you drive between, when you try to park your trailer on the side, you walk with that snow, you can see the tracks of the tires. But if you walk there, that snow is frozen hard. Look at the ground. This is not water. This is black ice. The ground. This is black ice. Even if I drive on it with the tire, it cannot break it. The temperature, even though the temperature is 33 degrees, the amount of metal and the asphalt, all this metal and the asphalt, the metal and the asphalt has a problem. The conductivity is very high. The thermal and the electric conductivity is very high. So they steal the heat and they distribute the heat inside. When you put your hand on any metal surface, it is cold. Well, you think it is cooler than the air. It is cold because it steals the heat from your hand. So when the water or the snow falls on the asphalt, the asphalt and the metal steals the heat from the snow, make it cooler. If you hit that snow, of course, you hit that snow like a pile of concrete. You are going to remove it, but where are you going to remove it? You pile it on the side, and it makes it very hard for you. As you can see, you cannot park your truck in any of the slots where there is a pile. When there is no pile, that snow on the ground is very troubling. You try to park your truck in, you find out that the trailer goes in a direction where you do not want it to go. The snow steers you. You cannot steer a truck on this kind of snow. This is like a, look at that. Now I hit a few pieces of frozen snow. Looks like you run on nails. Everything on the ground is not water. Everything on the ground is black ice. When I drove in the gates, I almost was going to hit one side. The entire truck and the trailer bounced in a direction that I have no control on. That is a problem when you have a surface that has enormous amount of asphalt. This is under me in that part. This is concrete. And this is asphalt. The reason they put the concrete here is because here where they drop the containers by the crane on this chassis. That is why you have a concrete surface. You cannot have asphalt here because the asphalt doesn't take the bounding, the bouncing, the bombarding of weights. That is, this portion of the road is concrete. This portion of the road is asphalt, and you have the rails in the middle, and you have the containers metal. And whenever you get snow here, you have a disastrous environment, very dangerous environment. The simplest reason is that where does the heat escape? The heat escapes from the water or the snow or the air into the metal, because the metal have very high electric conductivity and thermal conductivity. Once the heat falls on the asphalt, it spreads quickly to the molecules of the asphalt, and the asphalt becomes very cold. Same thing with the metal. So you get that asphalt, that snow. Here, that snow will not go away for a month. If you leave it to melt, it's not going to melt for a whole month. Believe it or not, you find the sun comes out, the temperature 70 degrees, and you still have snow on the ground. Why? Because of the thermal balance. Because the metal or the asphalt makes the snow cooler and cooler, that's why it doesn't melt. If you put the snow on a wooden surface, it will melt quickly because the wood is not a very good thermal conductor. It will not steal the heat from the snow. The snow will get warmed will melt by the sun or by any radiation, light radiation, optical radiation, thermal radiation. This aisle is abandoned because of the snow. Now, as you can see here, once the train comes and they ground the containers on this chassis, you have a disastrous situation because you cannot run. The yard jockeys cannot run between these piles of snow. You cannot go through the parking spots when you have snow piles in front of you because the chassis and the tractor are over 65 or 70 feet long. So you cannot be bouncing between these piles, mountains of snow. So far we did not run into any yard jockey because the entire aisle is not functional. He cannot drive any truck in this area. So here is a guy. Here is the dump truck. This is the dump truck. He is going to get ready. He is going to get ready when the bulldozer, those are the two bulldozers, or three bulldozers or four bulldozers, they are going to spend the whole night loading this snow on this dump truck and taking it away. Can you imagine you transferring the snow away just because you don't have time for the snow to melt? You cannot allow the snow to sit here for a whole month to melt. The snow is very stubborn, doesn't melt as fast as you think. Here are the guys that are going to spray, loading the salt to spray the ground at night because of the black ice. This is the salt. Another pile of snow. I don't think they were able to clean that in one night. Look at how much snow you have here. This is one pile. This is five piles of snow. Remember, this is a mess. This is not a service area. This simple pile, small pile that you think is small, it will take a long time for the bulldozer to shovel it in a dump truck. This simple pile, if you look at it, you think it's very little snow. But that will fill an entire dump truck because it is a mess, it is a volume, it is not a surface area. It deceives you, the visual illusion. You think it is a small amount, but it is not. Go down now, take a shovel, try to shovel some of the snow, put it in your car or truck. You discover that this little pile will never end.